Hey everyone and welcome back. So wanted to do a quick video today because Scream Factory has announced their June titles and some of them I have to admit I was very surprised by. So I'm going to go through them real quick. So first up is their one Blu-ray release. The other three are actually 4K releases. So the Blu-ray only release is the movie Fire in the Sky, the alien abduction movie. And that's coming June 21st. Now extras are still in the works and will be announced down the line. But definitely a very underrated film if you've never seen it, especially if you're into like alien abduction movies. So the next three titles are 4K releases. So first one coming June 14th is definitely the one I was probably most surprised by, and that is the film Dog Soldiers, which is getting a 4K release. Now that is also getting a 4K release in the UK by Second Sight, which I did announce before, but I didn't really think Scream Factory was going to be doing a 4K release, so I'm kind of wondering if they're both using the exact same 4K transfer for it, because it does say here that it does have a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative approved by director Neil Marshall and cinematographer Sam McCurdy. So I'm going to assume it is the same one that'll most likely be on the Second Sight release as well. And this one is porting over all of the previous releases, extras that were on the original Blu-ray release that Scream Factory put out a couple years ago. And that release was flawed because at the time, the only thing they had access to was actually a release print. So it's really great that we're not only getting a 4K release, but we're actually getting a brand new transfer from the original camera negative. Because the thing about Dog Soldiers is that it was shot on 16mm film, I think Super 16 actually, and then it was blown up to 35 for theatrical releases. So I'm trying to remember details on it because it says from the original camera negative. I'm assuming it is actually from that original Super 16 negative. And to my knowledge, that has actually never been released before on any format. So it's actually exciting to see that we could actually see the film in a way we've never seen before, which is fantastic. The next 4K release coming on June 28th is the movie Cat People, the Paul Schrader film from 1981, I believe. This is actually a pleasant surprise because I always kind of felt this was a bit of an underrated film, and it's nice to actually see it getting a 4K release because it always had a very interesting look to it. So hopefully it should actually look really good in 4K. Now extras on it are in the process, and those will obviously be announced down the line. But if I did see this correctly, they are I believe porting over all the extras that were on their Blu-ray release. And their Blu-ray release, I think, was one of their early releases too. So it's actually the first time we've gotten a new transfer on the film in a long time, because I think the transfer that was even done for the Blu-ray they put out was like a pre-existing one. I think it was actually before they started doing their own transfers. And again, no more details at the moment. Those will be announced down the line. And then finally, the last title coming June 21st is the Tobe Hooper film, The Funhouse, coming to 4K. And the interesting thing about this one is it's one of the few films, if I remember correctly, that Tobe Hooper actually shot in CinemaScope. I mean, he did shoot a couple films. In fact, was this the first film he shot in CinemaScope? Because it was like this one, it was like Poltergeist, maybe one or two others that I'm blanking on. But actually, this may have been his first CinemaScope. Not that that matters, but I'm just saying, like, just from an aesthetic standpoint, I think it'll be great to actually see this one in 4K. And again, just like the other ones, the extras have not been announced, but I believe it is porting over all of the extras from their previous release, which again was another one that was an early release from them, which also used a pre-existing transfer on it. So again, it's like the first time this film has gotten a new transfer in, probably over a decade. And actually, I don't think I actually said this, but obviously each release will also have a Blu-ray as well as the 4K disc, because I believe all the extras are pretty much going to be on the included Blu-ray. And the Blu-ray should also have, just like the previous releases, previous 4K releases, the Blu-ray will also have the new transfer on it as well. So for those of you who have not made the jump to 4K yet. So some pretty exciting announcements. Actually, I was, again, kind of surprised by, especially from Dog Soldiers. And hopefully they can release more Universal titles in 4K. God, there's so many that they could do, including ones that they've already put out that I think really would benefit to a new transfer, and obviously in 4K. And I do want to apologize because I've been a bit MIA lately. So for those of you who may not have seen my post, I'm actually upgrading my computer at the moment, and it's just been a process as well as other things kind of going on in my life. But once a new computer is set up, which will be over the next day or two, I'll be back to making videos on the regular again, because there's a lot more I need to get to, especially news announcements and other kinds of videos and all kinds of, like, my list is long for all this stuff I want to get to. So technically this video is most likely the very last video I will edit on the old computer, so anyone going forward will obviously hopefully be edited on the new computer, and I'll get more into specifics. What I should probably do is actually do just like a, regular vague ramblings video where I can just sort of do a little catch up on some of this stuff. But I didn't want to miss the chance to do just at least a quick video on these Scream Factory announcements. So definitely let me know your thoughts, even if I may not be able to get to comments for another day or two, but just, please bear with me. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.